KOGO News Time, 7:42.
Governor Newsom wants California to become the first in the country to produce its own brand of generic insulin. The goal is to make prices more affordable, which they aren't right now. 14% of people who use insulin in the U.S. say they spend a catastrophic amount on the life-saving drug. That's according to a new study from Yale.
Joining us on the KOGO News Live line, managing partner at PCS Advisors, Paul Seegert. And Paul, let's start off with this. Insulin did not used to be this expensive, did it?
No, it's gotten a lot more expensive. We really don't have a free market when it comes to insulin. Only 3 companies make insulin available to U.S. consumers. They've increased their prices dramatically in the last few decades. And for something that's been around as long as it has been very inflationary. Instead of getting more generic competition, we still have a small number of companies providing it, and they certainly are taking advantage of that.
That is interesting because usually the older the drug is, the cheaper it is. And in this case, it's not happening. But how feasible is this for California to make its own insulin?
Well, they've set aside $100 million or committed $100 million, 50 towards development of the drug or a partnership to develop the drug, and then $50 million for a manufacturing facility. In the grand scheme of big pharma, these are pretty small dollars, but I think it's significant in idea. It's a significant idea that could make an impact. Certainly, we need more competition. And I think it's being watched by the 3 companies that own this industry now. They'll certainly be watching this closely.
Well, as they should, because, I mean, you've got 3 companies, and we're right now we've got this shortage of baby formula in the U.S. And again, we have 3 companies that are making it in the U.S. and somehow they have the corner on the market. Why do they have the corner on the market?
Not only that, we allow in our delivery model, where we all use our insurance primarily to buy drugs, there's a severe lack of transparency, and there are middle players that add to the cost after the manufacturer is done. We almost always end up talking about these manufacturers in the drug business, and they often get declining revenue from a drug the longer it's on the market, even though the price goes up, because other middle players, pharmacy benefit managers and others, continue to add more and more cost after the cost of manufacturing. And that's a very true statement with insulin. If you look at the cost of insulin today, Humalog is the most commonly prescribed insulin in this country. It's made by Eli Lilly. You get a box of those pens right now, it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $550. $330 of that is added by pharmacy benefit managers who don't manufacture the drug, they do not wholesale the drug, and they do not retail the drug.
So why are they allowed to add that much to the cost?
Well, they certainly shouldn't be. Just when you step back and look at it with some common sense, it doesn't sound right. Their job, they have 3 functions. They're supposed to manage the formulary for a health plan. So, yes, the drug can go on the list. Here's what the copay is. They're supposed to adjudicate and pay drug claims. So health insurers outsource their drug plans to these pharmacy benefit managers. And then they were intended to negotiate with big pharma, with manufacturers, to get better pricing for drug plans. And because of a lack of transparency, we've gotten way off track. And it seems like we always talk about 3 companies. Here we go again. There are 3 pharmacy benefit managers that manage about 80% of the drug lists in this country for health plans.
All right.
That clearly is not producing good results.
Exactly. Managing partner at PCS Advisors, Paul Seegert. And thank you again, Paul.